Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast live, guys. Not the podcast we wanted to be making tonight, guys, but it is what it is. We kind of just, I don't know. You know what's really bad is we've kind of become kind of used to it. Tolerant, not tolerant. No, not tolerant. What's the word I'm looking for here? Just useless. Absolutely. It's just awful, genuinely awful. Uh, I don't, you know what? I don't know what to say. I really genuinely do not know what to say after that performance today. Gutless, spineless, passionless, fightless, just awful yet again. And you know what the sad thing about it is, guys, is we're kind of, none of us are kind of surprised. Are you surprised that the game turned out that way? Are you surprised that we lost? Are you surprised that we surrendered in such a way? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Genuinely don't. We've got loads of people in the live chat, guys. Trying to keep all your comments tonight is going to be very hard. Stuzo says Clem's a clown, should go in the summer. Clueless fool. We're going to address the Clement out crowd. Quite depressing, but not surprising with this squad. Hello, Aldo. William Scott says bottle merchants need to clear out ASAP with a Diddy Cup all season. We've got Stuart in the live chat. We've got a lot of people in the live chat already. And guys, like I said, I'm going to struggle to. I'm going to do my best to keep up with your comments. I'm sickened by our collapse when we got to the top of the league. We should have won this league. Horrendous, says David. Good evening, buddy. Aldo says we can't keep sacking managers. I think you're right there. Look, we will talk Philippe Clement. We will talk about Philippe Clement. James says popular opinion, Lundstrom is shit. I think that's correct. Good evening, everyone else too. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the podcast. Obviously, you know, we are working towards that target of 6,000 subscribers. We apologies for not being able to do a live watch along today, but I was at work. And then obviously when I got home from work, sat down and watched the game before making my reaction video. Genuinely sick to death of watching that shit that went all out today. Absolutely. Although we can't also fall either behind that mob. Bluebells, thank you very much. Good comment here. We've got villainous cosplayers. Hope that's the final nail in the Lundstrom coffin. I agree. P. Curry says, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Curry, how are you doing, buddy? Aldo makes a good point here. He says, just when you start believing in that team, they let us down. Shanklin scores again. Motherwell win 5-1 in Dingwall. That's how bad we really are. Yeah, it's a worrying one, guys. It's a worrying one. Obviously, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, please obviously smash that. Now to keep on growing, guys. That's the main aim, obviously, of what we do. Is trying to obviously bring you everything. Let's have a look. We've got Sterling as our future captain. Watch his reaction after Butland saved a penalty. 3 managers in a row. They've all reverted to playing safe with low energy setups, says Tunnux. Lundstrom was an utter disgrace today. He didn't want to be there. We've got John Moffat says Rangers will never compete with Celtic. That's a fact because they are so far ahead, especially financially. How are we meant to compete with that getting put to the bottom of Scottish football? Stu says it's Clement's fault. Those who keep making the same mistakes, thinking there'll be different outcome, are deranged. Right, you know, look, let's. Too slow, no pace, no quality. Clement's got a big job in the summer, but I'd like to know where the money's coming from. I think you're 100% correct in that assertion. Loads of comments coming in, guys. I will try to keep up with your comments during this pod. Look, I think we've got to start with looking at this game. It is an issue that we do have to be. We do have to make a big change to this team. We do have to make a major rebuild to this team. Fraser says every outfield player should be sold or sent back to their clubs on loan. I can't think of one outfield player that is good enough. Celtic were weaker this season, so if we can't beat them, we never will. Look, I think the issue we've got is today it was just another performance like the ones we've seen over recent weeks. You know, we've seen the same old Rangers, slow starts, slow, awful football yet again. And it wasn't what we needed today. We needed to start fast. We needed to be in their faces. We needed to go after them. But I'll be honest with you, sitting and watching the game back and sitting and watching this game, one thing I've picked up was they started quick. They pressed high. They moved the ball around quickly. They pulled players in and out of position. They then ran into those gaps that they made by pulling players out of position. In effect, Celtic did everything that we wanted to, that we were trying to, well, we needed to do to win that game today. You know, Celtic, for me, played the best football. It was awful. And Rangers seemed to have one tactic and one tactic only. You know, that tactic was pump the ball as far as you can up the pitch and hope that Dessers can get on the end of it. To me, the midfield was one-paced. It was slow. It was predictable. It was everything we expect. It really was everything we just expected from Rangers. And it's shocking. It's shocking. It's genuinely shocking. Maybe if the board's seen what most fans could see, we need a striker in January. Just cost us 50 million. Utterly raging, says David. Clement has conned the fans, says one thing, does another. We'll give youth a chance. Nope. We'll play players who earn their spot. Nope. We'll demand passion. Fuck nope. I mean, Bluebells, I think you make an excellent point there. You know, we'll give youth a chance. Well, the only youth player that seems to have been given an opportunity to play is McCausland. You know, given the number of injuries we're currently carrying, why are some of these young players not coming through? You know, yes, perhaps for some of them it is a step too soon, but Cole McKinnon, who has played first-team football this year, Bailey Rice, who played first-team football last year, you know, why are we not seeing these lads given a chance to play, given a chance to impress, at least from the bench? Paul Nisio off the bench. You know, why are we not seeing some of these young lads? You know, we're in a position now where, you know, I think even Clement himself admitted we cannot win this league. It is a long shot. You know, the likelihood of Celtic slipping up twice now is virtually impossible. And for me, why not try some of these young players? See what we've got in some of these young players. They could save us some money. You know, a lot of people talk about bringing in Lennon Miller, Connor Barron, me included. But, you know, Bailey Rice, what's wrong with Bailey Rice? Why can we not, you know, get him involved? Cole McKinnon, another one. Why can he not be involved? Stevens, who else have I seen? Paul Nisio. There's lots of young players coming through. Why are we not giving this youth a chance? And I agree with this bit. Some of these players do seem, again, to be untouchable. Why is it that we've got some of these players who, to me, you cannot drop, are undroppable? They can play as genuinely poorly as they want, yet week in, week out, they're getting a game. And I don't understand it. I genuinely do not get it. Why are these same players week in, week out getting a game? John Lundstrom has been absolutely awful for the last few games, yet he is getting a game, constantly getting a game. Why is he constantly getting a game? Now, you're listening to his post-match interview today. Phil Clement says, well, you know, we've got to look at what he's done over the last few months. Well, over the last few months, Phil, he's been shit. He's been awful. Why is this happening? And to me, why we are not calling on some of these young lads, Robbie Fraser, for example, John Lee Yefeko, when we are suffering from injuries, when we are missing Seema, we are missing Cortez, we are missing Danilo, we are missing Matondo, we are missing Jack, we are missing Goldson, we are missing a whole lot of talent, and yet these young lads are not getting a chance. And for me, it isn't good enough. You need to be trying some of these young lads. John Moffat says, although it doesn't matter how poor Celtic are, they have the better players than us. Getting to the bottom of Scottish football did this to Rangers. It's massively financially destroyed us. Why didn't Ridvan and the other lot and the other start today? That would have changed the game, I thought. I agree. I agree with you. Why? Look, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, you know, at the end of the day, then why is he not fit enough to start? If he's fit enough to be on the bench, he surely is fit enough to actually play and actually start this game. You don't put players on the bench who are not fit. And to me, that is utterly ridiculous that he's on the bench, yet he does not get a start. And yet you put Borna Barisic in there, and Borna, again, has been absolutely awful, absolutely dreadful. Genuinely has been so poor. Fantastic. Thank you, Red Derek. I don't know, I've got a good point for, but yeah. Clement says the players would have to earn the jersey to start. You tell me one player that deserves the jersey. I agree. I absolutely agree. You You tell me one player, Dujon Sterling, maybe. Celtic have players that win them games. Sadly, we don't, but Celtic are not Ange this season, and that's thanks to Butland. We could have lost by 5. I agree all day. I thought Jack Butland was absolutely outstanding today. Absolutely brilliant. He really genuinely was. Fan Dabidozi today. He was brilliant. The saves he pulled off were brilliant today. He was absolutely brilliant. Willie Cullum never gave us fuck all. We were going to get beat, and they were shite again. Final still to come, obviously, yes. 100% agree. Cantwell should have started. Lundstrom was pulling a caravan as slow as a week in jail. No chance of them slipping up. I agree, Philly. There is absolutely no chance of slipping up. This is a great point by John Moffat, actually. He makes a great point here. The players always get into the games against Celtic with a weak, scared mentality and don't believe they can beat them. Previous Rangers teams never had that mentality. They always got stuck into Rangers. I agree with you, buddy. The issue we've got here is very simple for me. You know, you look at that team today, and there's too many players there carrying genuinely mental scars against that lot from across the city. It genuinely is that bad. I mean, there's the starting lineup. I mean, you look at that starting lineup. Butland, no mental scarring there. We saw that today with his performance. Tav was absolutely shite today. Maida had him in his pocket all game. Maida turned him inside out. And look, Dyson Maida isn't even that good a player, yet Tav made him look world class today. He really did. So for me, it was a shocking performance by Tav, and he allowed Dyson Maida to run him ragged. Suter, goes off injured. I don't know. It is just awful, really genuinely awful. Davis, I think he's done. Borna Barisic, you know my feelings on Borna. I always said that. Enough on Borna today. He was poor. John Lundstrom shouldn't have played. Dio is the future. Lawrence is one-paced. Sterling worked hard. I thought Silva had a decent game today. But some of Clement's decisions today utterly bemused me. I mean, some of the substitutions were just absolutely worrying. I mean, why bring Scott Wright on and not bring Todd Cantwell on? And to say that, that was not the game to bring Todd Cantwell on. Well, why was it not the game to bring Todd Cantwell on? At the end of the day, why not? Why not give Todd Cantwell a game? I don't understand why he didn't get on. Yes, he perhaps hasn't been the best. Hasn't been the best, but at the same time, could he not have made a difference? Could he not have been better than what we saw? I thought Nicholas Raskin did well when he came on. I thought he was decent. I thought he got around well. It's just, you don't know where to start with him. You genuinely don't. Guys, I am trying to bring your comments about it because obviously it's very hard. Of course, Campbell's a caged birdo and clearly pissed off the boss again, and he's PC's scapegoat. I think that may have had something to do with it. That Instagram post may have gone against him. I don't know. Maybe. But to me, he just seemed to... Derek, the reason he took off Suter was because he was injured. Suter is injured. That's why he came off. I don't get it. Dave Pigs... Chris, it's not the game for Cantwell. Brought on fucking Scott Wright and Roof. BS statement. Curry, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you here. Not the game for Cantwell. Brought on fucking Scott Wright and Roof. Yeah, absolutely. Why Scott Wright? I don't know what Scott Wright's job is in this team. How he continues to get a game is utterly beyond me. Absolutely, utterly beyond me. We've missed Stephen Davis badly since he got injured. We placed him with Lundstrom, and you can see the drop off in quality. Agreed on that one. 100%. 100%. Getting 56 is like trying to get 55. I hope we get it before they do. John Moffat says, I'd keep Des as he's improving each time. 21 goals. Scott Wright must be warming PC slippers or something. I heard he wasn't, mate. Commentary came back, says he was. I think Clement said post-match, Derek. That's where I'm getting it from. Clement's comment post-match that he was, he was injured. That's what I'm going off. Knew we'd get beaten today. No faith in this bunch of fuds. Throw away a league title takes something doing, but this bunch shiftless bastards have done it again. Paul Robertson says, we pissed away another title. Can't wait to us to dump these bags of shit. And we some players with balls, fire and fucking fight. Absolutely. It's just absolutely shocking today. I mean, if we deal with John Lundstram first of all, and we look at him, great question. I'll come to your question, Bluebells, in a minute. If they get 56 before us, we are not Scotland's most successful team. That's unforgivable, says Old. I agree. Serious question. Where do we go from here? It's a brilliant question, Bluebells. Where do we go from here? Look, we've got to try and get through to the end of the season with what we've got. That's all we can do. We've got a team that is, we've got what we've got. Seema's not going to be back. Matondo's not going to be back. Danio's not going to be back. Jack is not going to be back. So realistically, what you see out there today is what we've got till the end of the season. I honestly think that we should look now, Bluebells, to some of the young players. First of all, give some of the young players a go. We're not going to slip out of second place. Hearts are not going to catch us. We're not going to catch Celtic. There's 2 games to go. There's the Dundee game, obviously, and the Hearts game to go. We're not going to fall out of second place. So that's the first thing. So these last 2 games, why not give some of the young players, a go? Why not let some of the young players have a game? Even if you don't start them, bring them off the bench, give them 30 minutes here in the home game against Dundee, give them 35 minutes against Hearts. Because at the end of the day, does it matter if we lose either of those 2 games? No, because the season's done and dusted. I'd rather see some of these young lads, Cole McKinnon, Bailey Rice, Robbie Fraser, John Lee Yefeko, get a game so we can see what we've got going forward. And can some of these guys come in and do a job for us? Otherwise, what's the point in having a youth system? Why are we trying with a youth system? Curry says, let's be honest, as soon as we get seen the starting 11, we knew this was how this was going to end. Same players, same tactics. Guess what? Same result. Agreed, Curry, buddy. Look, as I said on the video, my reaction video earlier, I just looked at it and went, that's shit. That is deeply shit. And it's a bad team. It's an awful team. Only if he's pissed off with a player. Do you want to win? Cantwell should have been on the park, in my opinion. I agree with that one. I fear that we're starting to implode again. John, so do I. Is Dessers a quality striker? Rangers need quality strikers. RFC 56, we do. We need at least 2 new strikers in the summer. Sums up this time at the club perfectly. Capable of putting in some decent performances, but ultimately not got what it takes. Can't wait to see the back of him. Thank you, Derek. Got to say, love this podcast. It's the only one I've ever stuck with. Well done. Thank you, Derek. Thank you very much. They couldn't finish a fish supper. With the starting lineups like that, we're winning nothing else. Yeah. If Lundstram, Wright and Borna Barisic are in the squad for the cup final, Clement is done for me. Curry, I do worry. I do worry. There is a lot of red flags out there. There is, one thing that, yes, apparently he might be back for the cup final, Paul, but how fit is he realistically going to be? That's the question. How fit is he going to be going into that game? Next game I watch is the final, to be honest, Owen. Alan Morrison says team selection killed off our hopes in the last few games. Look, Bluebell says, I'm already done with him. Curry, absolute pretender. He's not kept to his word whatsoever when he came in. Surely Raskin takes Lunny's place at the end of the season. I don't want to see Lunny again. I'll tell you something, Stuart. I bet Lunny starts the cup final. I bet he starts. If it's a 2-game ban, I think it's a 2-game ban he's got. So he'll miss the Dundee game. He'll miss the Hearts game. But I bet he starts in the cup final. I pretty much guarantee he starts in the cup final. I really do. I don't, you know what? I'm worried. I am really worried, guys, going forward. Has Lawrence got secret pictures of Clement because there's no other reason for picking him? Aldo says we need to salvage a bit of pride on the Scottish Cup of the day. We put absolutely, of course we do. James says serious foul players a 3-game ban. Yeah, but didn't Sterling only get a 2-game ban for his sending off? I don't know. I need to look into this. I definitely need to review this. And does it count towards the cup? It might not count towards the cup. I don't know. I need to look into it. But look, yes, I agree. Nicholas Raskin should get some game time going forward. I think that is, I think that is a definite. I think he did really, really well when he came on. I thought he used the ball better. I thought he tried to put some impetus into the attack. I thought he did a reasonably decent job when he came on. Lundstram hadn't justified a place in the team for the last 2 months. Never mind the cup final. I agree with you. He hasn't. And hear Clement say that he has was worrying. We have not got the money to replace 6 or 7 players. It's badly needed. Yes, I agree. Owen started some of the youngsters in the last 2 games, but the cup final. I think the problem, Gordon, going into that cup final is what we've got is what we've got, and that's it. The problem we've got now, guys, is this team is what we've got, and that is at the end of the day. I don't know what to suggest realistically that we can do going forward. You know, you just look at it and you worry. You really do worry. With Clement, he loves to play with wingers and stuff. He'll be properly judged by the next season. Boyd Craig says we need a proper cap. We do need a leader on the park, someone who can smash heads together. Thank you very much. That's a good idea, Derek. It's on the list for next season. Don't you worry. Rangers need to appeal to extend Lundstrom's ban so that clown is out for the rest of the season. I did hear that someone said we should appeal it and try and get it, the SFA to extend it just because of we us appealing, which I did think was quite a funny one. We should write to the SFA and make sure Lemon's banned for the final. Boyd, yeah, absolutely. Somebody says Davy Moyes as a plus. Look, the problem we've got, guys, is this. Look, I can see everyone's concerns out of the whole incident. I can see the concerns that a lot of you have got over Clement. I genuinely can. But is it fair to judge a manager when he hasn't got his own players, when he's having to deal with the same shit that everyone else has had to deal with? Now, I agree that some of his tactics and some of his decisions have been poor, but is that because of the fact that he has not got the players to make the changes that he needs to put out the team he wants to? That is the question for me. I don't get. The problem is, if we just keep going through a cycle of bring another manager in, he picks his own players, we sack him. Okay, well, we can't judge this manager until next season. Okay, sack him, bring another manager in. Sack him, bring another manager in. Are we in danger of becoming Watford? Are we in danger of becoming a team that just, constantly changes its managers and does not achieve anything? Are we in danger of becoming Borussia Dortmund to Celtic's Bayern Munich? Are we in danger of becoming a club that wins the title once every 4 or 5 years, but yet they win 5-6 titles in the time it takes us to win one? That's the concerning thing. William Scott says if the board don't back PC, he will walk off. Who's a defender Rangers are looking at? Do you mean McNair or do you mean Cordoba? Both are looking at. DL2, one of our channel members, says, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to Dundee. I don't care anymore. The league belongs to Septic now. Don't like how Douglas Park's son is still there. I agree. Clement deserves time, and his players in Muscat that good can't get a job in Europe. Jensen sacked. Lampard can't get a job. McInnes can do it with Killy, but Rangers' expectations are different, says Airwolf. Are we going to be one of these teams? Yeah, that's the thing. We can't keep going through this change your manager, change your manager, change your manager. It just can't happen. Yes, it is fair because we've been saying that about all our managers since Gerrard left. I'm not bothered about the last 2 games. Next Rangers game I watched is the final. We had that comment. I don't know why I've got the same comment. I like Clement. I think he's not had enough time, says Rosie. I do think we need to give Clement time during the summer and give him the chance to bring in some players and then look at what he can achieve. I don't know. 72. I get the feeling Butland's going to be sold to raise funds. We chucked away a lot of money with this title. Really frustrating. David, you're right. We've chucked away Champions League money. Obviously, we could still qualify for it, but it's going to be a lot of hard work to get there this season. No, NK, the scouting team picks the players. You bring in the coach from there. It should never be the manager's players, says Bluebells. Dortmund were getting pumped 3-0 last I looked, and they're in the UEFA Champions League final. Lol, Madrid win 4-0 today. Nobody could carry on exactly the same next season, which is a worry. I agree with that. Boyd says, I would rather run with youth to bolster the squad next season than watch these overpaid frauds sitting on the bench. This is what I'm trying to say is let's get some young players out there. Let's get some young players involved and see how it goes. Curry says, yes, Owen, he is laying the same players who have already let him down today. Sterling, Mid, Raza, Diamonde would have shut the midfield down. No, Cantwell, Yilmaz should have started. He didn't. Curry, I agree. Go back and watch my videos from this week. What have I said to everyone all week is, number one, you play Lundstrom, they will walk all over us. And they did. I said you needed legs in the midfield. I said you needed to play Cantwell. Diamande and Sterling in the middle to compete with them. He didn't do it. And we got walked all over. We got absolutely walked all over. So, it's awful. It is awful. Sniper, he needs a season or two with his own squad, but those players he gets in need to hit the ground running. None of this. They'll be. Yeah, I agree. Philippe, spot on. I agree with you. Absolutely spot on with that one. We have to have a situation where we, have these players that come in and hit the ground running from minute one. For me, next season's got to be about getting rid of a lot of the deadwood, number one, in the summer. Number two, using some of our youth players, getting some of our youth players through. And number three, going out and buying the right types of players, going out and getting players that can make a difference from minute one. And what gets me, guys, is why is it other teams in our league can go and buy players who hit the ground running from minute one? Bojan Miovski from Aberdeen. Celtic can go out and buy players that hit the ground running from minute one, yet we can't seem to do it. Maybe that's the past. Maybe that's Ross Wilson and the previous scout, John Park. So hopefully a new change under Niels Koppen, I hope. We've had no fucking changes for 3 seasons. Everybody can see you always build from the back. You're not going to get beat. That is a good point, William. We massively need to really build from the back this summer. We do need 2 strikers, I agree, but one of the priorities for me has to go out and build a defense that is capable of standing up, up to everything, absolutely standing up to everything. They will lose to Killy. We will beat Dundee. James Butler, there is every chance that could happen. For me, we either sack Clement in the summer or back him for an extended period of time. No point letting him buy in the summer and sacking him 3 months into the season. I agree. I don't think that is the way forward. To constantly change managers, you turn into Watford and other clubs like that. Derek says, Phil, how can we have seasons to bed in if he hasn't backed by the new board? I mean, this is another thing. This is another thing that really does worry me is the board. What is happening with the board? Have the board got the funds to back this manager? Have the boards got the situation to actually go out there and put their money where their mouth is? That is a massive worry for me. Has John Bennett, James Bisgrove, and all the rest of the board, Craig Robertson, etc., got the money to back this manager or not? To give Niels Koppen the funds he needs to go out and find players to build this team? And it's something we need to do. Like I said at the start of the pod, there is only one team out there for me today that wanted to play football and play football in the right way, and that did play football in the right way, and it wasn't Rangers, it was Celtic. Airwolf says he loses the cup final. Clement will be under huge pressure with what's happening. Cup final day with the statue, a loss could be many fans' final straw. Airwolf, I think that's a brilliant point. I do think that it is a situation that could genuinely happen. That, look, we could have a situation where that cup final, he loses that cup final, and then he's lost every big game to Celtic, which I'm not saying he's this bad, but it puts him in the same bracket as Michael Beale. Beale lost every big game to Celtic. Only won the one, which was that 3-0 at the season's end with nothing riding on it. So for me, it is a game that we've got to win. And if we don't win it, yes, the pressure will be bang on Clement. 100% agreed on that one. 100% agreed. Rosie, 68 points for Beale and 66 for PC. That is worrying. It's a random chap that runs a YouTube podcast, knows how to do why as a professional manager. Not. Good question. 72. Any reason Scotland got the place last few years was due to our hard work, and we've not benefited from it once. Always a sunny day. Buster says Big Phil started mid-season, win a trophy, took us to the top of the league when we all thought it was done. And after the Aberdeen game, not our fault. A team of bottlers. Agreed with that one. We have got a team of bottlers. Look, it is worrying. It is worrying. Boyd Cray says, let's see if Niels Koppen has what it takes in the summer. We need to be brave. We need to be different with the next window. We do, absolutely. Derek, I agree. Sterling was very, very good today. Bluebell says, actions speak louder than words. PC absolutely deserves scrutiny for this team selection. Substitutions, not for nothing. He signed Silva on loan when we needed a proper number 9. I agree. And I think if he loses the cup final, then there will be big discussions over, over what happens. I think there 100% will be massive, massive discussions over it. RFC 72 says the board don't have any money. They rely on investors to put money in, and they end up paying it back in shares. It's a joke. Johnson, we haven't got any money. I bet we'll get beat in the final. If any of these players or manager mention what statue before they win that cup, I really hope we don't do that. I really, really hope we don't do that. We don't come out and say that we're doing it for Walter, blah, 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 because it is just making a rod for our own back. Just absolutely making a rod for our own back. Right, let's get back to some of your comments here. Also, his future looks bleak either way. Just till I die. I agree all day. Look, I am absolutely seething with them today. I am so fucking pissed off with them today. But look, I'm not going to stop being a Rangers fan. I'm not going to stop loving my club, despite what other tossers that come on this channel and may say about me. And if you're coming on this channel to abuse me and to piss me off and have a go at me and whatever, like I think it was Stevie Smith earlier, fuck off. I don't care what you think. You're a bunch of wankers. Future looks bleak either way. I'm Rangers till I die. I don't think that's the answer is to get rid of Clement, says Rosie. The board will happy see us chuck money on shit players as well. The best in class line always stick with me. Last time we lost 7 league games. He sends teams out who can't beat Ross County. For fuck's sake, we are Rangers. This isn't acceptable and action needs to be taken. Derek Reed, it's close games. I was bricking it, not at the moment, Rosie. But I understand. I understand again. Better stop protecting the club. The Duds, sorry. I do, Rosie, sorry. But he is not the manager who will fight for the team and fans. Derek McInnes will, says Derek Reed. We've got somebody speaking up for him. I mean, if we sack Big Phil, we will look like a clown show of a football club. I agree. We can't keep sacking managers. We will become them. Could McKinnon Devine done any worse today than Lundstrom and Borna? Probably not, Airwolf. I agree with that one. We should obviously keep Clem on. Talking about binning him is crazy. But if he starts to lose me with his pressers, keeps referring to me how we are now better than in September, that's not good enough. Look, I agree. 100% agree with that one. He's got to get away from that. You know, it is a situation where we were in a position to actually win this league. And, you know, you can say all you want, or we were 7 points behind them in September. The league was done in September, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, you got us back to the top of the league. And if we'd won those games in Dingwall and against Dundee, we'd have been clear at the top. We wouldn't have had to worry about today. We could have played in a different way. Yes, injuries have played a part. Yes, referees' decisions have played a part. But overall, the overriding factors that have cost us this league is not that. The overwhelming thing that has cost us this league, for me, is number one, players bottling it, giving up, losing it. That's the first thing that has really pissed me off. The second thing that has really got to me, guys, is the manager's decisions. And I don't think he's entirely blameless. I'm not saying he should be sacked before anyone says, oh, Owen's calling for him to be sacked. I'm not. What I am saying is he makes some absolutely crazy decisions at times. Number one, his tactics at times don't seem to be clear. Playing a long ball all the time against Celtic is not good enough for me. Number two, decisions to make substitutions when he does at times don't seem to add up. He seems to have lost that proactive game manager status that he had at the start of his spell. He seems to, whether it's because he doesn't have the options off the bench, I don't know. But today, why bring Scott Wright on and leave Todd Cantwell on the bench? Why just give Roof, in effect, 7 minutes? I know he got stoppage time. It takes 10 to 15 minutes for a player to get up to speed for a game. Why put Roof on with 7 minutes to go? And also, one of the decisions that got me today was, why not leave Dessers on? Play Roof and Dessers, go 2 up top. Take one off, off that other side. I don't get it. You might as well lose 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. We've got nothing to lose. Even if Roof comes on, snatches a goal, 2-2 is no good to us. We're not going to win the league with a 2-2. I don't get it. I think the players primarily carry the mass of the blame. Clement carries some of it, though. He cannot be entirely blameless for what has happened. Some of his decisions have been bizarre. Some of his team selections have been bizarre. Some of his inability to have the balls to make big decisions and say, right, John Lundstrom, you have been shit for the last month. You are out of the team. James Tavernier, you have been piss poor for the last month. You are out of the team. For me, it seems like there are certain players that are absolutely untouchable. Tav, Lundstrom to some degree, and Barisic to some degree. Why are these players untouchable? Don't get it. Clement could get us the double first time after fucking Beale. He'll be a great manager. Hopefully we can give Phil the chance. You shouldn't slaughter him. God, we can be better next season. Henry, I'm not slaughtering. I'm just trying to pull out some points here. Lunny is an absolute joke with that tackle. Could have went in at halftime 2-1, but had the fight back in. I was on the first to say he should get a new contract. Fuck that now. I was too, buddy. I was too. 100% saying that he should get a new contract. Yeah, I agree. He shouldn't get a new contract. Here's a small fun fact. My great uncle Bobby, who died in the Second World War, was best friends with Sammy English. Top point from Derek there. I fear Clement will be gone by November. I hope not. That's what I'm saying. You start believing that the team and they let us down, make us look stupid. They do to some degree. And I think we're all kind of becoming, a little bit kind of resigned to the fact, aren't we? Clement deserves to get rid of the losers and get his own team, and we can judge him then. I think you're right. Clement has until January. Unfortunately, I fear we've been singing that same song for 3 seasons now. Look, Bluebells, I think it is going to take the summer. I think he has got some big moves to make. I do agree with that. We make McGregor look like Pirlo, absolutely. Celtic get a 50 million pot of the Champions League. They do. He took Silver off and put right on. I sort of just said, you're absolutely ridiculous decision. Don't get it. Don't understand it in the slightest. Either our team are being targeted by hammer throwers, or there is a medical issue going on. Somebody could have healed a broken leg. In that time, it's taken Ridvan to get back. I agree, 100%. Problem with Clement coming in during the season is he's going to carry some of the stink of this season into next. Agreed. Airwolf, agree wholeheartedly. McGregor isn't that great. He's industrious and a good captain, but not insurmountable. This Rangers team, since we got beaten by Ross County, has been embarrassing. Agreed, says Rosie. At the door, Borna Barisic, Tav, Goldson, Roof, Lunny, Wright, Roof. See, look, Curry's so bad you've named him twice, and all the players that cannot play 3 games in a row, and that's just a start. Curry, I agree. Why are we not getting rid of these players? Why are we not moving them out the door? Goldson, for me, has served his useful purpose. He's on £40,000 a week. He has to go. He isn't going to get any better. He really genuinely is not going to be any better. Stuart says, this is Beale's mess, Owen. His players still in the same mess we were in when Clement came in. Can't change much with the same players, mate. Tav has been crap since 55. So has Goldson and Barisic. I agree with that. Clement said when he came in, basically he was seeing who was up for the fight, yet he keeps playing the same bottle merchants. I think the big test, Philippe, is going to come this summer. Is it actually going to happen that we go out and we get some money to actually change this so he can get, can get his players in? That is the big one. Really big one for me. Absolutely. I think the board were held. I think it's time the board were held accountable at the AGM. Derek, I agree with you. The AGM was a fucking joke this year. I mean, that question about supporters buses about summed it up for me. It was an absolute joke. He was been sacked twice in a season. I'm fed up with this team. Clement made a bad lineup today, and subs just made me very unhappy. DL2, I agree with you. He seems incapable of trying something different. Strong Warburton plan B is doing plan A better vibes. I agree. There is a bit of that. Look, one of the things that gets me is why don't we change formation? Why don't we change shape? Why don't we try something different? I don't get it. James says Lunchton was playing for a new contract, realised he wasn't getting us and threw us under the bus. I think there's a lot of truth in that conspiracy theory, James. When he was thinking about he was going to get this new deal, his performances were very, very good indeed. So for me, I've got to say, at the end of the day, yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you on that one. As soon as he realizes he's not getting a new deal, he bottles it. Absolutely. 100% agree with you on that one. 100% agree with you. What have we got? Big Phil, tell it how it was and stop sticking up for his players who fuck up. Says bring back the British. Agreed. Quite shocked why Clement hasn't made a big change. He did it at Bruges with their best players. I agree. That is a worry. Has he gone back to his Monaco days where he didn't do that? Interesting question there. Alan Watson says Alan Austin, says Clement just won't change his system regardless of who he has available. He needs to take some responsibility. Lunny shouldn't have been on that pitch. And that's what I'm saying. I do think that at times you have to play a formation. It might not be the formation you want to play, but when you go into a game where you are going to be up against it because you have not got your best attacking players, then for me, you have to change your shape. You have to change your shape. It is a worry. It really is a worry. Look, I'm going to use this analogy, right? Okay. I've coached youth football, okay? I'm not a great coach. I'm not pretending to be on the same level as Philippe Clement. But I liked to play a traditional 4-4-2 back in the day, right? 4-4-2, then we went to a 4-3-3. We played that sort of attacking formations, right? Okay, now we came up against a team who were top of the league, unbeaten, etc., right? Now, I didn't go and say, right, I'm going to stick to my system, which is a 4-4-2. I'm going to stick to that system. I'm going to just go for it and just hope for the best. I looked at what that team were like. I looked at what I'd got. And what I did was I went to a 3-5-2. I changed my formation to 3-5-2, with more it being a 5. Actually, it was more like a 5-3-2 to defend deep and to hit on the break. And it worked because we soaked up loads of pressure, and then we hit them on the break right near the end of the game and beat them 1-0. I don't like playing 3 at the back. I really hate playing 3 at the back. It's not the way I like to play at all, but it worked for that one game. Now, what worries me is today, Clement could have changed his shape. He could have gone 4-3-3, put Raskin, Diamande and Sterling in the middle, given us legs, given us a bit of pace in there to compete with Hatate, O'Reilly and McGregor. He chose not to. He chose to stick to the same old team, and it didn't work. And that's the one thing that does slightly worry me. Adapt and change. Absolutely. Resilient, he called the team, makes you wonder. It does make you wonder. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Dark Knight says Clement won't last long. Only for the Rangers job, mate. I'd love the Rangers. I'd love to be involved with the club, but I don't think I'll get there because I'm too honest and speak my mind far too much. When that mob lost the league in 2021, they protested outside their ground. Change followed and they regained control in Scotland. Our fans need to share the same attitude. This isn't acceptable. Agreed. No, Lundstrom has done this every season. He's been there. You only get a few good games a season. I agree with that one. The Europa League run. Lammers has turned into Maradona since been on loan. He has. We can all see what he's doing wrong. But of course, the fans know nothing. Of course we don't. We do know absolutely nothing. And of course, we shouldn't be listened to. Look, this is going to hurt for a long time now. This is going to hurt right up until May. Because they're going to win the league again. They're going to parade the trophy again. We're going to have to sit and watch them win yet another title. And it sucks. It absolutely stinks. And I think what makes it hurt more this season was that we were in a position to actually win the league. We were in a position where we could have won the league this season. And we've thrown it all away. And that is a worry. That is a major, major worry. And that's why it hurts. That's why it genuinely really stings this season. And the fact that Celtic are not a good team this season. They are not a good team this season. They should have pumped us today with the way we were playing. When we went down to 10 men, even more so. But did they do it? No, they didn't. The problem we've got is that they're going to win another title this season, which will take them on to, let's have a quick look. I'm trying to find the facts here. We'll take them to 54 titles. That's one title behind us. It's worrying. It is worrying. Guys, loads of points here. Where does this, if Clement gets gubbed in the cup final? Great point. Just got home. We have to stop showing these fuckers respect. Agreed. I just want to get back to winning league titles. McInnes would be my shout if PC does move. Unpopular, I know. I like McInnes. I think he's a very good manager. I think he organises a team very well. I do agree with that one. You look at the best manager on the planet, Pep. He's always making little tweaks. Clement, however, has tried nothing. He does. Clement changes things. He does every season. Look at his fullbacks. He plays last season with four centre backs. 100% changes. Get McInnes in before this shite explodes, says Elsie Patterson. Hello, Elsie. New name in the live chat. Welcome. Any teams, Achilles and Hearts, have beaten them this season? We haven't. I are in top class work. He puts in the channel, does a lot. Thank you very much. RFC 56. I do try and work very hard on this. Thank you. Yes, please smash that like. Guys, the comments flying through. So hard to keep up with them tonight. I do apologise. Clement started 7 points behind them. We are now 6 behind them. Not much improvement, says CGM. Pretty good point, actually, there, CGM. Aldo, enjoy your Chinese. Look, we have to see what he brings in the summer. Look, those players have chucked it with 3 managers. Can't keep changing manager. I agree. McInnes would get us winning domestically. He knows how to set up a team and fight and win, says Chick A. Look, I don't know what the answer is. It seems the fan base is very much divided at this moment in time. I don't know how long Sue is out for. He did say post-match that he would have to assess it. It really is a worry. Right, guys, I'm going to call that pop start because I am absolutely knackered. I had a 10.5-hour shift at work today, started at 5 a.m. this morning. Thank you very much for everyone who's come on tonight, guys. It's been really hard trying to keep up with your comments. It's been a bit of a rant fest. Of course it has. Hopefully it's been a bit of a therapy to you guys to get your comments out. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We've got to try and get through this now. It is going to hurt for the next few weeks until this season's over with. They will move to 54 titles, one behind us. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. We'll try and get some sort of thoughts around this. It was really interesting when Sterling played centre half. He could play a higher line because he can actually run. Agreed. Bluebells says, bottom line, lads, you don't win against them. You don't belong in the Rangers' job. It's really that simple. I agree with that one. Right, guys, thank you very much for doing. Please, obviously, smash the like on the way out. Have the best night possible, everyone. We are the people. Agreed. Guys, on the way out, 2 favors. Please smash the like. And number 2, please remember always, we are the people. Thanks for watching, guys. All the best. We are the people.